at Ahmedabad with Team 3T, we would be shooting the interview with Mr. Satyendra Gaur, the business head of Adani Agrifresh. I hope you will learn a lot from his success mantras as a leader in our Learning from Leaders series. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce Mr. Satyendra Gaur, an esteemed business leader and the business head of Adani Agrifresh Ltd, as a distinguished guest for Learning from Leaders series. He plays a pivotal role in advancing the business both horizontally and vertically. His commitment to excellence is evident in his leadership, where he has effectively merged his extensive HR background with astute business acumen. His passion for driving performance and creating value for farmers, customers, and other stakeholders is through innovative and sustainable solutions, which is truly commendable. With a remarkable career spanning over 32 years, Mr. Gaur has seamlessly transitioned from a seasoned HR professional to a dynamic business leader, demonstrating exemplary expertise in strategic HR, people management, learning and development, performance management, and employee relations. His professional journey reflects a wealth of experience garnered from diverse industries at senior positions at Adani Total Gas, Adani Wilmar Limited, and before that at Hindalco Industries, Binani Cement, and Gujarat Ambuja. Mr. Gaur is not only a distinguished professional but also a prominent speaker, frequently engaging with diverse audiences on various forums. He is also an active participant as an advisor to the government, NGO, and other private organizations to make a broader social impact. Mr. Gaur holds a bachelor's degree in psychology and economics and a master's in social work and industrial relations. His commitment to continuous learning is evident in his multiple postgraduate qualifications in labor laws, HRM, journalism, and recently he has completed LLB as well. We are privileged to have Mr. Satyendra Gaur, a true exemplar of leadership in the corporate landscape, who has joined us today for the Learning from Leaders series. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
So I would like to shoot the first question right away. That is, sir, your career has witnessed a very successful transition from leadership roles in HR to dynamic business leadership. Now, in today's corporate landscape, our viewers would want to know, do you believe it is essential for leaders to possess the flexibility to switch from service functions and business roles? One. And what, in your experience, is the secret to successfully navigating such transitions?
So, it's a very interesting question. Transition depends on individual, how flexible they are. It's not like it's something common in everyone who are really so flexible that they can really transit from their own function wherein they spend 28 years and suddenly they decide to move. So it is something which individuals' interest and own understanding about the business, these are something which is very, very important. So I would not call it is something in the common, is kind of expertise wherein everyone feels so flexible to move from HR to function. But yes, if you really good at commercial aspects and if you really are keen to be a part of the changing world, you will always be interested to be in the business.
Right, great. So sir, if you could tell us that if people have to embrace that kind of change, that transition, what kind of qualities should they possess so that they keep growing and changing?
See, not today. From years HR has been claiming they are a strategic partner.
Right.
So if they are a strategic partner, then it is deemed that they are understand the business. The one and foremost important is how good they are into understanding the business. When we say like it's a business is something wherein one has to have a very strong commercial acumen. One should be very high on strategy. Strategy doesn't mean like thinking long or envision something which is going to happen after some years and all. Strategy is something wherein you have to divide into pieces. Like if you are running a business wherein there are certain cost factors, certain profit centers, certain products, certain different strategies, so you have to divide into pieces and then you have to work around.
Okay.
But the very important is like understanding of the business and commercial acumen. These two aspects are very, very important to transit from a line function to a business functions. That is what I feel.
So that is one of the very important takeaways for our viewers, that in case you want to keep evolving, then number one, you must understand the business, the strategy, and as he mentioned, do not think that strategy is only long term. Secondly, he has emphasized that you must possess a commercial acumen. So in a nutshell, not just understanding your own business, but understanding the business environment beyond as well.
So you'd be surprised to know, like when I decided to move from HR to business, first thing I did is I did a diploma in financials.
Okay.
Yeah, from FCI. Like if I really getting into business, I should know like what is a cash flow, what is balance sheet, what is tri balance. So I did a diploma in financials. I attended so many courses in finance for non-finance, and that's how I built my capability into business to understand commercial aspect of the business. Forget about the product. Product is not something wherein you need to get into nitty-gritty as a leader, because you have a ample of the team who understands the nitty-gritty of the business. But to know the business, somehow you should understand that entire sector. Therefore you need to spend a lot of time on study the particular business, how it works, what all the challenges are there, what all areas wherein you should focus, what all areas wherein you need to unlearn and relearn. So there are a few things which I think one should really spend time on it.
I totally agree with what Mr. Gaur says, unlearning and relearning. In fact, I'm reminded of Alvin Toffler. In Power Shift, he wrote that the illiterate of the 21st century are not those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn and relearn. So thank you so much for that input.
But one more thing here I would like to tell you is like business is something not that really very, very difficult, but unless and until you bring some outside in perspective. You can really transform the business when you really bring outside in perspective. And I have seen so many businesses wherein the outside people come to the business, those who are zero in the business as far as the hardcore business understanding is there.
Right.
But when they bring outside perspective, especially when the HR people come into the business, because what is the main in the business is the people.
Absolutely.
And if HR people move from HR to business, I think they can add a lot of value, and they bring outside in perspective. That again helps to building a business in a different ways.
Great. Sir, in your role as the business head of Adani Agrifresh Ltd, you've played a key role in augmenting the business since you joined. So, can you share some strategic insights or the initiatives that have been particularly impactful in driving the growth of the company since you took up the reins in your hands?
See, my business is something wherein we are leader in country. So I think we are only basically the corporate who deals into fresh fruits.
Right.
And branded fresh fruits. So if you see, there are so many modern format stores, e-commerce players are coming in the market.
True.
And they so far dealing with the mandis. They always look for a strategic partner who can really give them a support all the year with assured quality, assured quantity, and with some kind of commitments. And especially when you deal in a commodity and you really want to convert commodity into brand, it is something that is basically credibility. And what it is more of a like the quality, consistency, and the commitment which you fulfill. So what I thought is like there are so many modern formats, those who are really struggling for a strategic partner, why not to tap them?
Right.
And finally by tapping the all modern formats and e-commerce players, we could really build a different market. And it's not like it benefited us, it's one side, but actually it has benefited them. And ultimately the benefit goes to the consumer, wherein they get a fresh and the quality fruits. And we being the nation building kind of organization, where we always feel like every consumer should eat quality fruits and be healthy.
Great.
Thank you.
So what we can conclude from these inputs is that credibility means three important things: the quality, the consistency and the commitment which the organization has made and how well it delivers. And secondly, it has to be a win-win situation. This is what his mantra is for all the stakeholders, including the consumers as well. Then only it makes a big impact. So we are also curious to know that what are the qualities which you possess as a leader which help you balance your responsibilities, that is the professional ones, with your commitment towards the broader societal impact. So in a way, what kind of advice would you like to give to the aspiring leaders who want to make a positive difference beyond the confines of their organizations? So some success mantras if you would like to share.
See, I'll reply of this question in two ways. Like
Right.
when I was in HR,
Right.
or I should say, like I started my career in HR in 1992.
Okay.
Right. From the day one thing was very clear to me is like the HR image was something wherein whatever you do, it should be kept confidential. How you can play around with the people,
Hmm.
and when it comes to negotiation, how much you can hide from the people.
Hmm.
But if you really ask me, from the day I started my career, I was very clear. I don't want to hide anything. I have always been a very, very transparent with the people.
Right.
So transparency is something which change your own personality and the aura. Number one. Number two, one has to be very, very good human being. If you are a good human being, rest follows. And the third thing, one should be very committed to his profession. If one is very good human being, he do everything, but he is not committed to his profession, sometimes he basically lag behind. This is what I feel when it comes to HR. And then when it comes to the business, I tell you, like, one should 24/7 think about what I can do new to the business, how I can contribute to the society and the end consumer, and how come I can really create a wealth for my organization. Because ultimate, what you are doing is to create a wealth for the organization, stakeholders, and for the society.
Right.
But if you really ask me to give a one mantra, the mantra is be a very good human being as best as you can, be transparent, and as much as you can read, please read. Because Gyan is something which ultimate takes you to the different height. If you do not read, you will always lag behind. So the mantra is Gyan badhao, karm karo, mehnat karo. Thank you.
Wonderful. So three of the very important things that we have learned from him is, number one, be transparent. Because even I believe that if there is anything to hide, then it means you are generally doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Secondly, he has talked about being a good human being. So we would really want to understand something more when we say be a good human being, but a little later. And third important thing is commitment towards the profession. So these were the three things which he practiced right from the time he was taking care of HR. But when he came and started handling business as well, then there are three other things. Number one, do something new, something unique, something which really is a differentiator for the business. Secondly, the society is and the end users need to benefit out of it. And thirdly, the wealth creation for the organization is of utmost importance. So sir, coming back to you, how to be a good human being? This is something I really want the younger generation to listen to.
See, since you are a trainer, you understand like what communication is.
Right.
That when it comes to communication, one should be very soft spoken.
Right.
Number one. Number two, one should be very high on a listening skill. Number three, one should be always practice introspection. Whenever they talk to the people and they experience like there was some negative impact on the other part, they should immediately introspect and try to correct it. These three things, if one practice, I can bet like one can be one very good human being. And this is what that you get in the return.
I am so intrigued. I'm sure the viewers would understand the very important aspect of being a good human being as enumerated by him. Number one, be soft spoken no matter what heights you reach. Second, listen. So when we talk about listening, it's not just the biological aspect of hearing, but interpreting, understanding, and relating with the person. So empathic listening, reflective listening. Thirdly, he has talked about something very unique, that is introspection. So when we talk about self-development, we use the model at 3T called MICR, meditation, introspection, contemplation and reflection. And sir has mentioned...
And that's what makes people the good human being. Yeah, it's a very good program. Yeah.
So this is really a wonderful input. Thank you so much for that. At 3T, that is Triumph Through Training Pvt. Ltd, we have been emphasizing the development of people management skills or soft skills during our management training courses. Now, what I want to ask is that from your perspective, why are these competencies crucial for leaders to be effective and for achieving optimal results? Number one. Number two, our audience would be very much interested if you can share a specific anecdote or example from your own illustrious career which shows the impact of people management skills on leadership success so that our viewers benefit from it.
As you know, I always talk when it comes to the training, like for everything there are certain maturity stage.
Right.
When it comes to training, there are reactive, then proactive, then strategic. These are the maturity level. You know, now India has reached at the strategic maturity level wherein every time we talk about strategic level of a training, but still there are certain areas wherein still we are doing a proactive. But if you really ask me, there are certain areas wherein it's a very, very important. If I take example of my own, entrepreneurial mindset is something, it's a very, very important, because nowadays we all are working in an era wherein we claim as an HR professional that we are strategic partner, but what we do is generally training, development, performance appraisal. But how many times we convert opportunity into business? Mm-hmm. I don't mean to say like you impart a training all the time for a business. It's not. But yes, whatever you do, you can convert into opportunity and which ultimate result into benefit of the organizations.
Right.
So if you really ask me, there are certain training which is very, very important in current era is like entrepreneurial mindset.
Okay.
In each and every action, every employee should understand like what they are supposed to do, that so that every action can convert opportunity into business. Business doesn't mean the generating the funds and the money.
Right.
This is one training which I feel is very, very important. Mm-hmm. Number two, when it comes to this, the number two is outcome orientation. What happened is like we do so many soft skill trainings like communication or leadership building or some other
interpersonal skills, stress management.
Correct. But these trainings are something which covers everything. So entrepreneurial mindset.
Right.
And entrepreneurial mindset is not something which comes directly. So you have to tell them how to communicate, how to interpret, how to build interpersonal relations. So that's one part of it. The second is outcome focus. Outcome focus is very, very important of whatever function you talk about.
Right.
But especially when it comes transition from HR to business, it is very important. Like one should be able to convert opportunity to business. Simultaneously he focus into outcome orientation, because converting it doesn't solve the problem unless and until you are so much into outcome focus. So these are the two areas wherein I feel it's a great, like I tell you, I'm into the fresh food business.
Right.
So Himachal is the area wherein we basically focus. So the average production of apple is of around approx 0.7 million metric ton.
Okay.
We do deal around 20,000 metric ton, which is hardly 3% of it.
Okay.
So I thought, why not to convert that opportunity of availability of fruits into opportunity. So what I did is we started fresh apple trading. We buy from a market because our core business is to store and sell. So whatever you see, and if you think, discuss, decide and convert that opportunity available in the market into business, and that is what the entrepreneurial mindset, and I think that is very, very important for each and everyone and for each and every function. And simultaneously the outcome focus. These two things which I feel probably it's one of the most important as far as training is concerned.
Great. So our takeaway from this answer given by Mr. Satyendra Gaur is, number one, we need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. And when we talk about entrepreneur and intrapreneurs, then that is one differentiation that we need to understand during our training sessions. Secondly, he has talked about the focus on outcome should never be lost. So we need to have that kind of orientation. So, we generally say that the 3 P's, people, process and performance, are important for any entrepreneur, for any professional. But he has specifically emphasized performance or the results that we must get at the end of the day. So as we conclude this episode of Learning from Leaders series, I want to express our heartfelt gratitude, sir, for your invaluable contributions, especially since you are so busy all the time, but you still took the time out and you shared your knowledge and experiences, which I'm sure is going to enrich a lot of people out there, including Team 3T. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.